I'm back like I never left. I know it's been a minute, but it's that time of the year. People are posting and speaking about their Spotify Wrapped. Why do I keep saying Spotify Wrapped? I'm actually not a Spotify user. I use YouTube Music, and they also do a recap of the year. So today we're going to be doing my YouTube recap. Let's go. I think there'll be some shockers in there. I was surprised by some of the analytics for this year, but I have my theories and I'm going to get to that later. So let's just get into it. So first of all, my listening time added up to 48,584 minutes, which adds up to 33.7 days. So 34 days of listening. 34 days of listening to music. 34 days. I think you guys heard that. So I don't know. I don't think that's that impressive because I've people listen for way more minutes, which is wild. But I do understand to an extent. Now, 2093 tracks I listened to, which is quite impressive, I think, personally. Yeah. Now, let's come to my top track. And surprise, surprise, it's Euphoria. Now, I was not surprised by this at all, guys. I love that song so much. I'm so upset that it didn't get any Grammy nominations, but real ones know, real ones know. I listened to that track 710 minutes, which amounts to 110 listens, which I guess is fair. Probably listen to it more as well. Love that song. Now, as you can see, the rest of my top tracks, they all belong to one album, which honestly has been an amazing album for me this year, by an amazing crew. And we're gonna get into how they have influenced my listening this year. And I have a conspiracy theory on all of that. So, my top artist for the year is perhaps not a surprise to everyone, but it is a surprise to me. It's Kendrick Lamar. And let me explain why I have my doubts on this one. So, all of my other top tracks come off of one particular album, right? And that album, Ala Salah by Kwan Bin, came out, I'm not sure when this year, but it came out early this year. And I was listening to it heavily. And I really enjoyed that album. And on top of that, right, Kwan Bin makes the most beautiful and melodic and they just make the most chill, amazing, smooth music that to a large extent doesn't have any lyrics to it. So they are my go-to artist for studying. I actually have them as my study playlist. With them I can just float, right? And I'm a student and I study basically every day. I would say probably 6 out of 7 days I'm studying for at least 2 hours. And that's been That's been happening probably for 6 months. So, how is Kendrick then still my top artist? I know he made Euphoria, he made all these tracks from the Beef. I also listened to his back discography, but I'm still, it's not making sense to me. Let me actually do the math and show you exactly why I'm struggling to believe, right? So, as I said, I study 6 out of 7 days a week for at least 2 hours. 6 out of 7, 2 hours, 4 weeks in a month for, let's say, 6 months. That's 288 minutes. Wait, minutes? Minutes. Oh no, that's hours. Hours. 288 minutes is nothing. Okay, so that's 288 minutes, right? Now let's say I'm overestimating and I haven't been studying like for 6 months. Let's say it's been more like 5 months of this intensive studying. And let's say, I can't even say I study less than 2 hours. What student studies less than 2 hours a day? But let's say I only study 5 days a week, not 6. That still amounts to 200 hours, right? And on top of that, I also listen to their album. So I'm just having difficulty believing that Kendrick is my top artist. And what Kendrick has, how many hours was that? Top artist? 94 hours. Come on. What the hell? Come on, guys. Come on. Like, if you don't believe me at this point, then I don't know how to convince you. But honestly, Kendrick Lamar, love him so much. Oh my word. But he's not my top artist for the year. Like, it does not make sense. However, when I looked into it, I developed a theory, right? So, as you know, Kendrick dropped GNX, and I've been listening to GNX. Dude, it's almost like I'm on a drip, a GNX drip, right? And I just have it on repeat. Like, I usually listen to it at least twice a day. But when I look at my history, it doesn't really reflect that. Just take a look at my history here. And so I was thinking maybe there's like a glitch on error when you listen to things on repeat to where it doesn't register properly, because I've been listening to GNX on repeat and it doesn't really appear as much on my history. And the study playlist, I listen to it on repeat, and so maybe I just wanted to clarify that, because I think that might explain why Kendrick is my top artist, even though he didn't drop an album, even though, you know, I've been listening to Grandin religiously. So I don't know, I'm just making my case, guys. But yeah, so I'm in the top 0.1% of Kendrick listeners, which I think YouTube Music doesn't have as many like users as Spotify and Apple Music. So it is a badge of honor, but I don't know, in the grand scheme of things, if I listen to him that much more than the global audience. But yeah, I'll take it, you know, and stuff. And then there you go, my top artists, right? You can see how I've been listening. If you know, you know, you can kind of tell what my top albums are gonna be based on this list, because you know, but that's exactly why they're my top artists, because they put out some really good albums that I enjoyed. Yeah. So the podcast part of things, I didn't even know that I was watching podcasts, because YouTube Music is linked to your regular YouTube. All those videos that I've been watching also kind of get incorporated into your 2024 recap. And so yeah, Olay and Friends is my number one podcast. To be honest, I enjoyed Olay and Friends. I went there because of the beef. They had like a panel discussion on the beef, and everyone was ganging up on Drake, and I was loving it. I'm playing. So I was watching those videos, and I came back a few more times to the channel just to check it out. Um, but I didn't like become a follower, or I didn't subscribe or anything like that. It's just that the videos are really long. They are at least 1.5 hours. So I mean, but number two is my actual number one. I love Mina Lay so much. Like, she is such a cool creator. She makes really interesting videos. She's like a video essayist, and she does, to be honest, random videos on random, not random videos, but videos on random topics, and she really fleshes it out so brilliantly. And I love watching her stuff. It's a lot of fun, and it's insightful, it's well researched and well written. So she's definitely my number one. I think next year she'll be my number one podcast. And then the rest is just like interesting stuff, you know, how crime works, how real is it. And then Lecrae, I watched because of the beef and watching the party die and all that stuff. Clearly, I'm very impressionable, especially for one particular short man. I'm so impressionable. But yeah, those are my top podcasts. Now, this is the part that Spotify did not include in their Wrapped. And so I'm flexing, you know, like maybe YouTube music is better. I don't know. I'm no mortal man. But let's get into top albums, right? As I said, as I was waxing lyrically before about Granwin, Allah Salah, gorgeous, absolutely, oh, I don't know. They've never missed. They are just amazing. And they got a Grammy nomination this year as newcomers. And they're not really newcomers. I mean, they've been making music for a really long time. I was there. I'm kidding. But they have been making they've put out a lot of projects. But this one actually got them a Grammy nomination, which I'm very happy to see. They're also in a category with Doechii, I think, as a best newcomer. So yes, love that for them, love that for her. This album was great. It is great. I'm still listening to it, still in my rotation. I'm lying, I'm only listening to GNX at the moment, but Ala Sela is just beautiful. And I'm going to revisit it definitely. Now, Contore al Mundo, that's one of those albums that make up my study playlist. And so, yeah. Then, Why Lord? Girl, why did No Worries just snap like that? Oh my days. Honestly. Wow. Just wow. I love this album so much. Check it out if you haven't already. It's amazing. They haven't missed either, to be honest. And this album was just gorgeous. It was so smooth and beautiful, and it had crack in it. Can I say that on YouTube? It had something. And then lastly, my girl Raven. Raven, you're supposed to come to South Africa this year. I don't know what happened. Anyway, baby girl dropped birthday. And oh, tons of visuals, beautiful songs, her angelic voice, as per usual. Like, guys, Raven, love you, girl. So yeah, that's like my entire recap for the year. What are my final thoughts? No, let me have my bone. I have a bone to pick, so let me pick the bone, and then we can go to final thoughts. As I've mentioned about the whole study playlisting, I feel like those songs I listen to them passively. So I would really love like a burner account, or I would love to be able to do like incognito mode or something, so that I can actually have a recap that's specifically focused on what I listen to actively. Um, I'm a bit, I guess I look like a poser to an extent because where's all this hip hop, girl? Where's this hip hop that you always talking about? But there are some artists that didn't that didn't come up on my Spotify rap artists and projects. But I'm gonna give it a shout anyways, and it's gonna be Dochi with Alligator Bites Never Heal. It's gonna be Blue Lips as well, and Vince Staples. What is the album called? Dark Times. Vince Staples. I've listened to that a few times as well and quite enjoyed it. Um, I did listen to Chromacopia and I loved it as well. I'm going to circle back. Okay, I promise you guys, I'm going to get out of this phase where I'm only listening to like one album. And I'm going to circle back to, because 2024 has been amazing in terms of music, honestly. It's not just about the beef, but so many of the artists that I listen to have dropped music, and it's been bountiful, and yeah, so I'm happy with that. Also, Sir dropped as well, and I like that album as well. It should be up there, but I think the reason why I didn't listen to it as much is because I already knew so many of the songs on the album. They were released as singles, and I think if they're bangers, they're really good. I really like them. But if there were fewer of them that I already knew before the album came out, then I would be hooked. If you get what I'm saying. But I enjoy Sir's album as well, and I'm going to like we're gonna be eating good for years off of 2024, guys. Let's just deep that. It's been an amazing year musically. I'm so happy. And those are my final thoughts. Bye.